Hello, 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 all my pre-K teachers. How are y'all doing today? I hope all is well with you. It's Camille Ellis here. And today I wanted to get into um, the importance of empowering your students. So this is super duper important because when you empowering your students' choice. And when you empower your students to make their own choices, you can begin to hold them accountable for those choices. And you also teach them um, that it's okay to make their own choice, because some kids, they're so used to adults telling them what to do that they literally don't make they it's hard for them to make a choice. And now, while the child is young, while they're 3, 4, even 2, as young as 2 years old, they can make their own choices. The thing is that's important to remember is that you have to provide the options for them, okay? You provide options that are completely 100% okay with you. Whether it goes this way, it's fine, or whether it goes that way. It doesn't matter which way they choose, both ways are fine with you. So that's the key to helping your students make their own choices, providing them with the opportunities to do so, and the opportunities that you provide them to make their own choice um, are are completely 100% fine with you. So for example, when they choose their centers, whatever center they choose, that's the center that they go to. And of course, you would have already built into your classroom core expectations, you would have already built in how they work in the centers and what the framework of working in centers look like, whether it's a science center, block area. All of these things are things that students should already know. They would already know how to pick their center and what the expectations are around cleaning up before, or moving on to a different center. So yeah, so providing your students the opportunity to choose is super important. So here are 4 different ways that you can help your students to make their own choices. They can make their own choices. They can choose where they sit. So I did not assign seats at the table for lunch or breakfast whenever it was mealtime in the classroom. And we ate in our classroom. So um, I never assigned seats. They can go to the table and they can pick any seat they want to. And it's very interesting to see how there are some students who they assign themselves a seat. They have a particular seat that they always want to sit in. And if anyone else sits in that seat, it's a problem. And so we do have to help them realize that, well, our friends can sit anywhere, and we know that they like to sit there, and we understand that, we acknowledge, how they're feeling about this, and we help them to understand that everyone has a choice, and this is it's important for their friends to also be able to make their own choices, and they can always make a different choice. So they're seating at the table for mealtime, as well as they're sitting on the rug. I do not assign seats for my students on the rug. I feel like they can come and they can choose wherever they want to sit. Now, keeping in mind that there's a framework for each thing, right? So I mentioned it in a previous video where there's a way that we sit on the rug, like our bodies are to ourselves, or, and so there's like a framework of how we sit on the rug, but they can sit anywhere they want to sit, as well as at the table. Like there's a way that we sit at the table, but you can sit anywhere you want to sit. So it's like in the pre-K classroom, there is a give and a take. There are opportunities for free choice, and there are more structured things that are important to keep the organization and the framework of I don't want to say framework. I feel like I say that a lot, but I'm just saying, like, the way how a structure then of how things are done in this environment, and it's important to have one. And I got my notes down here, so I'm looking at. And another way to another thing that another way that your students another thing that your students can choose, have free choices when to go to the bathroom. Like, just like you, there's not a designated time that all of our bodies say, oh, we got to go to the bathroom. No, so why should we do that to our students? I understand sometimes, depending on the type of environment that your class is in, you may have to structure bathroom time, because if the bathroom is outside of the classroom and you have to line up and walk down the hall to go to the bathroom or something like that, it's different. But if you have a bathroom in your classroom, the students should be able to go and use the bathroom whenever they need to. What I had was, we had like a signal that the kids would do, whether it was to shake their finger like this or hold up some kind of hand signal to let us know that they had to use the bathroom. And whenever, if we were in the middle of story time or in the middle of something on the rug and I saw that signal, I'll just look at them and nod, and they'll get up and go ahead, just to let me know that that's where they're going. And then, so it's where they sit. They can make their own choices on where they sit in the classroom. They can make their own choices on when they have to go to the bathroom. They can make their own choices on what centers to play in. And last but not least, they can choose their own job. They make their decision on what job they want to perform for the week. Now, in my classroom, we have jobs for every student, every single student. We had 18 jobs, and it's important because everyone has the opportunity to do something, to make that choice at the beginning of the week of what area they're going to be responsible for. All of these different components are built into the framework of how we build our classroom structure as well as our classroom culture. So, just a quick recap. Empowering choice in your classroom is extremely important. Teaching your students how to make their own decisions, or that they can make their own decisions. It's okay. And it comes with sharing the control. I don't have to tell them, everything. And if you had to tell 18 kids or 20 kids or however many students you have in your classroom how and when to do everything, you would literally drive yourself nuts. So the sooner you can begin training them to make their own choices and help them to understand that, this is what they have to do if they need this, and they can go, feel free to do it, um, then it'll be a game changer for your year. I hope that you found this valuable. Please leave a comment. Any questions below that you may want me to answer, feel free to leave them below, and I'll see you guys next time.